Number 10, Giraffe, 2919. Directed by Anna-Sophie Hartmann, starring Lisa Lovesley and Jakob Gierschau. Let's kick things off with Giraffe, a film so slow and artsy, you might think your screen froze. But nah, that's just the vibe. This Danish drama follows a woman in her 40s documenting buildings before they're torn down, and somehow ends up exploring her own emotional demolition when she meets a younger construction worker. Lisa Kongsley plays the calm, poetic older woman, and Jakob Gierschau is the Polish dreamboat who looks like he could steal your girl and paint your kitchen. It's not your typical steamy romance. It's quiet, deep, and filled with longing stares that say, "I'm too mature to text first." Watch it if you're into raw emotion, minimal dialogue, and metaphor-heavy relationships. Just keep caffeine nearby. Number 9, How He Fell in Love, 2015. Directed by Mark Myers, starring Matt McGorry and Amy Hargreaves. You ever fall for someone during a yoga class? Me neither. But apparently, that's where the magic happens in this indie drama. A struggling musician, Matt McGorry, Asher from How to Get Away with Murder, hooks up with a married older woman, Amy Hargreaves. At first, it's like, ooh, forbidden fruit, but then feelings get involved, and now they're spiraling through the awkward limbo of almost love. The acting is strong, the tension is believable, and honestly, it feels more like watching an emotional documentary than a movie. If you've ever cried over someone who wasn't yours to begin with, this one's gonna hit you right in the chest. Number 8, Blush, 2019. Directed by Mikkel Vinnick, starring Shira Haas and Bat El Papura. Blush is not just a coming-of-age story, it's a coming-of-complicated age one. This Israeli drama features a teenage girl who's just trying to figure herself out, when boom, she meets an older woman who's way more confident, way more experienced, and way more into her. It's subtle, intense, and uncomfortable in all the right ways. Shira Haas, who's also the star of Unorthodox, carries the film like a seasoned pro. And while the romance might be questionable, it shows how age and experience can twist relationships into something both beautiful and blurry. This isn't your usual happy ending type movie. It's more like, what even was that? And I mean that in the best way. Number 7, The Other End, 2016. Directed by Felipe Scholl, starring Deborah Falabella and Eduardo Mello. Let me set the scene. A lonely teenager and a grown woman start texting. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? Because it is. But it's also a surprisingly touching Brazilian film about connection, grief, and questionable decisions. Falabella brings this eerie charm to the older woman character. Like, she knows she's doing something wrong but can't stop herself. Eduardo Mello plays the curious teen just trying to feel something. And what follows is a digital age mess of emotions. It's weird, it's wrong, it's addicting. Basically, if you've ever sent a risky text and instantly regretted it, this movie is your spirit animal. Number 6, Out of the Blue, 2022. Directed by Neil LaBute, starring Diane Kruger and Ray Nicholson. Now we're getting into the dangerous zone. Out of the Blue is a noir-inspired thriller where Diane Kruger plays a mysterious older woman who seduces a younger man, played by Ray Nicholson. Yes, Jack Nicholson's son, and he's got the crazy eyes to prove it. Their relationship starts off steamy and ends up bloody, literally. Because, of course, there's a murder plot involved. It's got betrayal, passion, manipulation, and Diane absolutely eats up every scene like a femme fatale on a mission. This isn't romance. It's psychological warfare with benefits. And honestly, I was here for it. Number 5, Rendezvous, 2015. Directed by Antoinette Boomer, starring Los Havercourt and Pierre Boulanger. Picture this, you move to France to renovate a house with your husband. Sounds romantic, right? Except your marriage is falling apart, and now you're eyeing the young French construction worker who's way too hot for his own good. That's Rendezvous in a nutshell. Los Havercourt is fantastic as the fed-up wife. Pierre Boulanger looks like he walked straight out of a Cologne ad. Their chemistry? Off the charts. But this film doesn't glorify the fling. It shows the fallout too. It's messy, emotional, and full of bad decisions. Just like real life. Number 4, A Burning Hot Summer, 2011. Directed by Philippe Garrel, starring Monica Bellucci and Louis Garrel. Ah yes, Monica Bellucci, the original MILF of European cinema. In this artsy French flick, she plays a troubled older woman in a toxic relationship with a younger artist. Louis Garrel, who's literally the director's son, plays the moody painter type who falls way too deep, way too fast. The movie is beautifully shot and tragically French, which means lots of smoking, arguing in bed, and poetic declarations of doom. You don't watch this for plot, you watch for the vibe. And Bellucci's presence alone is enough to make a man question every life decision he's ever made. Number 3, Back Roads, 2018. Directed by Alex Pettyfer, starring Alex Pettyfer and Jennifer Morrison. Here's where things get real twisted. Back Roads is more psychological thriller than romance, but it still features a heavy older woman, younger man dynamic that's unsettling, to say the least. Pettyfer directs and stars as a young man taking care of his sisters after their mom is sent to prison. Enter Jennifer Morrison, his older married neighbor, who's clearly bored and craving chaos. Their affair is messy, desperate, and deeply uncomfortable. But that's kind of the point. This isn't about love. It's about trauma bonding in the worst way possible. Still, props to Pettyfer for pulling double duty and actually delivering a solid film that leaves you questioning everything. Number 2, Careful What You Wish For, 2015. Directed by Elizabeth Allen Rosenbaum. Starring Nick Jonas and Isabel Lucas. Yep, we're talking about the Nick Jonas movie. You thought he was just a pop star? Think again. In this steamy thriller, Jonas plays a teenager who falls for his older married neighbor. And she's not just older, she's dangerous. Isabel Lucas is the kind of seductive that should come with a warning label. There's murder, there's manipulation, there's that one scene where you're like, wait, did they really just do that? Oh yes, they did. Think of it like Basic Instinct meets a Disney Channel star trying to rebrand, and it works. Number 1, The Only Living Boy in New York, 2017. Directed by Mark Webb, starring Callum Turner and Kate Beckinsale. At the top of the list is this classy, twisted little gem. A young man, Callum Turner, finds out his father is having an affair, only to accidentally fall for the same woman. Enter Kate Beckinsale, who somehow keeps getting hotter with age and has absolutely no business being this charming. This movie is messy, layered, and full of emotional wreckage. But it's also oddly poetic. It's not just about the age difference, it's about loneliness, parental wounds, and figuring out who you really are. Even if that means sleeping with your dad's mistress. Yikes. So yeah, these movies aren't your usual rom-coms. They're wild, raw, and often toe the line between romance and scandal. But hey, love doesn't come with an age limit, just a lot of baggage. Which one's your favorite, or did I just unlock a whole new genre for you? Either way, don't forget to like, comment, and age gap responsibly. Peace.